Good morning, everyone. I have somewhat got my voice back, just a little bit, but I didn't want you guys to miss out on some more blooms that have opened up since my last video. And so just bear with me, bear with my voice. I won't talk as much as I usually do, but I did want to, I just don't want you guys to miss anything. So let's just go walk around. There's a few new roses that I want to show you. Sweet Mademoiselle is about to pop, which I'm so excited about. This rose is my absolute favorite. And I have also come to realize how much I love Princess Charlene de Monaco. Let's go take a look at her. Oh, but before we get over there, I want to show you Madame Anisette on the trellis, or on the arbor here. And Olivia is still looking pretty good. She defoliated big time though, like down here, just all on her own. Like all the petals just dropped off, which I thought was really odd. I have never seen her do that before. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but she's still looking really beautiful up top. And I can't really reach it because it's so high, but that's Madame Anisette. And I just came through here and washed all the pollen off of everything because it is literally everywhere. Here's Madame Anisette. And look at how well these palatine roses are filling out. This one's a little too close to the peony. I didn't realize I planted it that close, so I'll have to move the peony probably. But this rose, I have 5 of them, and they're called Sweet Baby, and I planted 4 along the edge here, which they look so good. Like, I am so amazed. This is their first year. You know, they've only been in the ground a few months and they're just leafing out beautifully. But here's the other one, again, close to a peony. One of them's gonna have to be moved. But here is another little sweet summer romance that I planted a couple months ago. And then look, here's the other Sweet Baby, which is just, gosh, it's so pretty. And then this one back here is called Summer Memories. I need to come out here and label all of these before I forget. But look at Princess Charlene de Monaco. Isn't that beautiful? I love this rose way more than I thought I would. And it's covered in blooms. There's a whole lot more blooms to come. And they're so pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? This is the first year I've really seen the really pretty blooms. Those were all planted, all those roses right there, right here. It's 5 Princess Charlene de Monaco roses. Excuse me. And last year was their first year in the ground. So this is really the first big flush that I'm going to see. Here's Loves Me, Loves Me Not, which is really doing well. This is, it's a white rose, and it's like a light pinkish white rose, and now I can't think of it. I'll have to come back to it. But this is Miranda Lambert. But yeah, I mean, look at Princess, all angles. She looks gorgeous. I love the color pink. It's like, it starts off apricot and then goes to light pink. Oh, it's so pretty. Over here, all dressed up, is blooming out. So pretty. And here is Summer Romance. It's just starting to open up. I do need to come in here and cut a couple of really old canes, like this one right here, and this one is older and not doing too well either. It's coming back though, like there's basil canes coming from the bottom, but I think it did not like how I had cut it back severely 2 years in a row. And so it protested a bit, but I mean, it's still super healthy and growing. Now it's just more of a manageable size. It's not this like massive beast, which honestly I'm okay with, because with it being so close to the driveway, I'm okay with that. Oh, let's see if I can come back in here. Francis Meilland is blooming. Oh, such a beautiful rose. Isn't that gorgeous? I am so excited about this one. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's just like an angel. It just glows. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now these Francis Meilland roses were from Gracie, Grace Rose Farm, from her estate collection. And so that's why they're so huge already, because they were really big plants to begin with. I did buy 5 more Francis Meilland from Menagerie, which are planted right here. I thought that would be a really nice spot for that rose. And honestly, I really kind of want to get some more Princess Charlene to plant in front of Francis. I think that would be a nice combination. And then maybe what I could do is then have the front row be some exclusive roses. Still waiting on several of those, which has been super frustrating. Here we are at the end of April, and I still don't have all my roses yet. And I know a lot of you don't either. Like, hire some more people, guys, to get those roses out. I don't know. I don't want to speculate or anything like that, but you know, we should all be having our roses by now. I get things happen, but it just doesn't look good when people have already been waiting over a year for some of their roses. So here's another Princess Charlene. So beautiful. Like, look at how that shape, I just love the shape and the color, and I love how it starts off like an apricot pink. And that's one rose bush, and then right next to it here I have another Summer Romance, and then right behind that, which is kind of flopped over onto the gardenia here. That is Generous Gardener, which is really taking off this year. Like, it's gotten a lot bigger, I feel like, this year. Everything has been fed with Max C twice. And before Max C, when I cut everything back, I fertilized with Hollytone. This climber right here is called Alchemist. Again, excuse my voice. I'm just glad I've got some of it back. Oh, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I think this is probably the best this rose has ever looked in my garden. Oh, it's just, I could just sit here and stare at this all day, but my neighbors would probably think I'm crazy. But you know what? They probably already think that, so why not? Oh, but I just love it. It puts on such a beautiful show, and of course it is a one-time bloomer, but hey, you know what? I don't care. It's worth it. I could just do this all day. Such a stunning rose. The one below it, this is Valencia. I just planted this a couple months ago. That's why it's a lot smaller than the others. And then we have Pink Traviata, which is just starting to bud up. It's a little bit further behind than the other roses. And then behind that is Apricots and Cream right here. And then this one is Sweet Mademoiselle, which has gotten huge. I mean, oh, I'm so excited to see this one bloom. This is gonna be so great. Look at that gorgeous color. I am absolutely obsessed, you guys. Obviously, roses are my life. This one right here is Marilyn Monroe. This one here is Red Traviata. And then I've got another summer romance right here. And then we've got Poseidon, which really has a lot of buds coming along, which is exciting. And then Lion's Fairy Tale this year is just covered covered in rosebuds. And then next to that is Moonlight Romantica. And then next to that is Cinderella Fairy Tale, which needs a lot of space. And then I have the three Francis Meillands back in here. And as you can see, I plant my roses very close together. That is because I don't want to see dirt. I want to see all green. I want to see roses. I don't want to see the ground. And as long as you prune them properly, and make sure that you put certain varieties next to each other that are not going to shade each other out, then you'll be okay and the system works. But you just certainly don't want to put a 3-foot rose behind a 6 or 7 foot rose, because it's going to get shaded out eventually. Aren't these Alchemist blooms just heavenly? So those of you who are brand new to the channel, I don't normally sound like this. I have lost my voice recently, just getting it back. I am zone 8 now with the new change. So, and I'm in North Georgia. So North Georgia, zone 8. we just combined these two beds together. This area used to be grass. And I love roses so much, I was like, I need more planting space. So I ended up ordering too many roses this past December, and then I was like, whoops, I kind of need some more space. So we ended up combining these two beds together. And if you look back over my previous videos, you'll see where we had a dump truck come in and dump a whole bunch of dirt. I think it was like 6 yards of dirt to make this new raised bed. And we raked it all in and made sure everything was leveled out. And and then I came in and planted these white drift roses. Here we go. So I had found these white drift roses at Lowe's, and I got them. There's about 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10. And so I've put the white drift up front with the catnip, which is called cat's pajamas, which the cats love it. They chew on it all the time. In fact, you may see Princess here chewing on it in a little bit. So the idea here, though, was to put all of my exclusives from Grace Rose Farm right up front here. And I still haven't gotten them yet, so I'm really deciding if I should just, put more in the back and like go ahead and fill this space up with some, I think Menagerie, this is probably their last week that they're gonna have bare roots for sale. And right now they're 50% off. So I might be getting some more Princess Charlene Demonicos and put some in here, because I really do love the way they look. And I can see how they perform in my own garden now. And so I think I'd really love that look in here. With these exclusive roses, I have no idea how they're going to perform. I have no idea what they're going to end up looking like, or if they're, going to do well. And so, maybe what I'll do is just leave room for one row of exclusives up here, and put the rest in the back, because I have space in the back too, the back rose garden. So I may end up doing that, but I still just haven't quite decided. I'll be deciding within the next week, because Menagerie is going to be closing their bare root rose season pretty soon. Look at this rose. I just saw it from over there. This is called Madame Jeanne. It's a climber, and it's struggled quite a bit, probably because this massive clematis is right next to it. All right, let's go over here. So on this side, I planted, or my family and I planted these sweet drift roses here early in February. I actually ordered these roses off of Amazon, guys. Can you believe that? These are from Amazon. And they were like in little gallon-sized containers. Super healthy. So beautiful. Look at that pretty little thing. I really like how they turned out up here. We still need to mulch and all that. But these are so pretty. And then all of these roses right in here were just planted a couple of months ago, but they're growing so well. They're all from Palatine Roses. And they just look so healthy. This is why I love Palatine. They just, literally about 90% of the roses just do so well. Every once in a while I'll get one that just doesn't take off and dies. I mean, I could even say like 95% of the time, like 5% of what I buy or less even from Palatine has died. Everything else has done fantastic. There's Bliss. Still trying to decide if I should move that one. Not sure yet. And then these here are Golden Fairy Tale. And then I have Fairy Tale Cosmos, Courage, and Athena Eleganza. And then back here, I've got 3 ball gown roses from Edmonds Roses, which are doing great. But I really like how, if I can go in like zoom out mode, I really like how they edge. They're just a nice border here. I think that really turned out great. That's exactly what I was hoping for. It just helps to draw your eye to the bed more. And especially with the tree, it just looks good. I love it. All right, let's head to the side yard and go out to the backyard. Before I head out to the back, here's Ispahan. Looking gorgeous. Such a pretty rose. She's got a bit of an aphid issue right now on the new growth, but I can just come spray those off with water. And look at Pompanella, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at all those blooms. I mean, those buds. I mean, it is like so exciting. I'm telling you, my roses love Maxi. They do so well with it. Here we have some foxglove. And all of my ferns are waking up, looking good. I really like how the ferns along the edge of the walkway look. Still have a lot of tidying up to do along this area though. We did, I don't know if you saw previously in the video, in our driveway, we've got a pallet of stone. I'm thinking about lining this pathway here with that stone to help keep the rocks from continuously going into the flower bed. That has been a huge problem, and honestly, I really probably need to come in here and shovel out some of the excess rock to help as well, because there's just like way too much in here. And what I could do is just throw the excess back here where we kind of have like our utility area. It could probably use a little bit more rock. You see the utility area and all the pool inner workings and all that fun stuff. Look at this hosta. Oh my God, it's so big. I wonder what it's called. I'm trying to remember what I planted here. Maybe Blue Hawaii? That might be it. Does Blue Hawaii get this big? I don't even know, but it's gorgeous. Wow, that bird is loud this morning, goodness. Oh, okay, so this area needs a little bit of cleaning up to do, but this is Wedding Bells Eleganza. Look at that huge bud. That is massive. This rose is doing great. I didn't even cut this one back this year. Just didn't get to it. This side of my yard kind of gets neglected every now and then because there's so much other stuff to take care of. Summer Romance is starting to bloom like on the bottom area of the rose bush, as you can see. I'll get some more close-ups of that in just a second. But I wanted to show you this rose right here. This is Kiss Me Kate. Very excited to see this rose bloom. There's buds everywhere. And it goes all the way down the tunnel. Very excited to see that one. What are you doing, buddy? Hey. Oh my God, I love you so much, you sweet thing. Come here. You see me holding the camera and you're like, oh, mommy is talking to all of her buddies online. I gotta get in this, right? Yeah? Yeah, is that it? Oh my goodness, you're just the sweetest baby ever. Yes, you are. And everybody loves you. Yes. Okay, let's go look at summer romance. See if I can tuck myself back in here. Hey baby, this is Princess. Look at this gorgeous thing. I know Luigi, he's distracting me right now. So, this is one of my favorite roses though. It is absolutely beautiful. The blossoms last a very long time, especially on the bush. I mean, I would say sometimes they even last almost 2 weeks, I feel like. That might be a little generous, but that's what it feels like to me sometimes. Okay, let's see if I can scoot through here. Everything is really starting to grow and get big, and oh my goodness. I'm gonna tuck the camera back in here to see this pretty thing. So like these types of blossoms that are like tucked back in there or lower on the shrub, I will come and cut and just bring into the house for bouquets, so I can enjoy them, because you can't really see them when they're tucked back in there. Oh, look, this is so pretty. Now I kind of wish when I planted this hedge up here, I wish that I could have just done all summer romance. Looking back at it now, instead of alternating summer romance. Oops, sorry about that. And then I did Madame Anisette, summer romance, Madame Anisette, and so forth. Because they bloom at different stages. Like Madame Anisette's always a little bit later than summer romance. And it would have been nice to have them all blooming at the same time. But it's still beautiful, like I'm not gonna complain. But it would have been nice. But I think Palatine usually has like a five bare root limit. Like you can only purchase 5 at a time. So I needed 10, so I kind of, you know, couldn't really do a whole hedge. I'm gonna go show you that yellow rose in the back. I think that is Teasing Georgia, if I remember right. Let's go take a look at that one. Gotta grab my tea. And I got my little garden buddy right here. He's following me wherever I go. Oh, and look, we've got some peonies opening up here. Well, bless you, buddy. That was a good cough. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? There's a lot of buds happening right now. Now here's Teasing Georgia, I believe that's what it's called. So why I don't buy any more David Austin roses, despite how gorgeous they are, is that this rose will look good in spring, and then after that it like loses all its leaves, and then it just looks terrible the rest of the year. And then I would say about 80% of the time the rose would die after that. This one for some reason is still going strong, but that's how I would end up losing all of my David Austins. And I probably spent thousands of dollars on David Austin roses over the years, and I'm just over it. Like, I don't have that kind of money to just throw away, you know? So I ended up switching over to Kordes roses, which is what Summer Romance is. And then Meilland roses, which is like Sweet Mademoiselle and Princess Charlene de Monaco. All of those just seem to do a lot better in my climate. I'm really liking how this has turned out though, this whole little hedge of roses and peonies and hydrangeas capped off with the boxwoods. I think it's done very well. And look, here's, oh, I'm sorry, buddy, watch out. I just stepped on his tail, poor guy. Here's Climbing Pinky, covered in blooms. So pretty. And Barcella. This is an Ito peony. I think that's how you say it. And then here is my back rose garden. As you can see, this bed still has nothing in it. I'm going to be planting stuff in that very soon once I make a decision about these exclusive roses that may or may not show up. I don't know. I'm just like, I've had it. I'm done. But here's Climbing Pinky again, all intertwined with Pompanella, which hasn't bloomed quite yet. But once this, these roses do bloom out, I am going to cut it back quite a bit just so the grass has a little extra sun. Excuse me. And here is my beautiful Dreamland rose, all completely, I think this is a good, you could say it's in full bloom, but there's still a lot of blooms yet to come. Let me set down my drink and I can take better pictures for you. It's a little soggy back here. You gotta keep the wow, y'all, I cannot talk today. That's when you try to say grass watered and you say it backwards together. Holy smokes. Y'all just put me out to pasture, please. Oh. Anyway, Dreamland is looking so beautiful. And again, those of you who are new to my channel, if you haven't been watching in the past couple of months, there's been a lot of changes happening back here. This area used to be a junk pile, now we have grass, and all this edging was put in. My husband and I have done all the landscaping as far as putting plants in. That's been like that, and that I mean like our entire garden. But we did hire somebody to put the grass down and put down the edging. They didn't quite finish the edging because they ran out, and so my husband and I did have to finish off, like, for instance, this line here and a little bit here and back on the other side as well. But it just looks so much better out here. It looks like a completely new space. It actually looks like a garden, and we are just so thrilled with it. We can really enjoy it. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. This is Amazing Grace. Look at that. It's so big. I'm trying to get it to focus, but it's having a bit of trouble. That is one fluffy rose. So I've got 3 Amazing Grace roses right here. Those are own root from heirloom roses. So they're a little on the smaller side right now. They were just planted last year. They were like little sticks. And so they've done a lot of growing, and they're very healthy. I'm still questioning if I should move them though, because with Dreamland right here, they are not getting as much sun as, you know, I would really want them to get. And so I'm like debating, should I move them up front where I know they're going to get a ton of sun? So again, kind of debating that. Here we've got apricot candy. This one is just like, the upper part is just doing great, but my gosh, it's just riddled with black spot down below. Such a pretty rose though. My Colette roses are really struggling with the black spot and like losing their leaves too this year. Which, I mean, hopefully next year it'll do better. I don't know, but goodness. It's still very pretty though. And then right here, hi baby. Are you wanting to say hi to everybody? Huh? Right here, I've got Moonlight in Paris, which is just gorgeous. I have more of this rose actually up by our pool, which I'll go check out in a second. These roses here are just growing like weeds, which is so awesome. That is La Fontaine All Pearls, which is going to be blooming pretty soon on some parts of it. Oh, and White Eden is just starting to open up. And this one right here is Courage. This one's growing so well. There's an empty spot right here. I may end up putting an exclusive rose in here. This one right here is doing great. This one's called Ball Gown. Such a beautiful bloom on that one. And then these 2 roses right in here, that one seems to be rebounding pretty well. I don't know about these. I just don't know if I should keep them there or just give them a little bit more time. I'm deciding. This is what is it? No, Soul Sister Sunbelt. Love, love, love the color. Really pretty. And then over here, Roberto Alagna is blooming, which is gorgeous. Shake some of the rain off. Or I shouldn't say rain, it's actually our sprinkler system. That is gorgeous. And it smells, well, of course, right now it didn't smell, but it smelled earlier. It smelled really good earlier, but you know me, I'm not very good with giving a description of scent. Other than if it's like a citrus smell. I'm like, oh yeah, that smells like citrus. I guess I could say this smells citrusy, I think, if I remember right. This bed right here gets a lot of shade because of our peach tree that's planted right here. And so I feel like it's a little further behind than some. And then this one over here has some actual boscabelle and carding-mill blooms. Look at this. That's boscabelle. Lots of buds. And then behind it is Princess Charlene de Monaco, which is getting ready to open up. And then here's carding-mill covered in black spot. Oh, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Very pretty rose. So yeah, this was all dirt. It was like a big dirt patch out here, but we formed the beds ourselves. The trampoline used to be here, which is now back over there. And I cannot tell you how awesome it is to be able to come out here and walk around barefoot on the grass. And the grass is greening up nicely, even on the pathway, which I was unsure that would happen. But we're gonna take that rock that is sitting in the driveway right now, and we're gonna line this pathway with the rock to finish it off. And still working to get this bed filled in with some plants. But oh, it just feels so nice to be able to walk through here. And it's just amazing to me how the grass works as a way to rest your eyes, and it just helps form the pathway better, especially with all the edging. And it just completely has transformed this space. Oh, I pulled out all the daffodils and put in these begonias. They're called Surefire Rose. So I think those are going to do well there. But really happy with how everything has transformed out here. We're going to put some new flagstone down in here to just make it look a little bit nicer. And then in here I've got some hydrangeas. And then here's another summer romance. As you can see, there's a theme here. I really love this rose. I have it everywhere in my garden. Right here is Queen of Denmark, leafing out nicely. No blooms yet. Oh, here's some blooms right here, covered in tree fronds. Look at these things. They're just everywhere right now. I can't wait to see this one bloom out. I wonder why there's not as many blooms on it this year. Maybe because I cut it back too hard or something. I think though with this rose this year, I might, because it gets so tall. I mean, this Queen of Denmark, it's an old rose, but it will literally get all the way up to the top of the fence here. So what I might do is bend the canes and peg them down, and that will really create a whole lot of blooms. So I think I might do that this coming year. And then next year, it'll be absolutely covered in gorgeous blooms. Do you agree with me? Yes, baby. Here we have Earth Angel. Look at all those buds. I'm telling you guys, Maxie works. Thank you, Gracie from Grace Rose Farm, for telling me about Maxie. It has made all the difference in my garden. Look at Pompanella. Y'all, this is just gonna be absolutely spectacular when this happens. I cannot wait to do a grand garden tour. We're not quite there. Not quite there, but almost. I mean, my God, though, look at Climbing Pinky. Like, this is just spectacular. It looks so good. Take a little screenshot of that one. I think I missed some roses over here, though. I'm going to show you some more of the Impressionist. This rose has lasted a really long time. I'm surprised. This is a new one for me, planted last year. Super beautiful apricot blooms. And then there's another one over here. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. Lots of weeding to do in the woodland garden. Oh, look at Rosemantic Cream. Oh, that is so pretty. This one's also covered in blooms. Excuse me, buds. They're not quite blooms yet, but they will be. And then here we've got 3 Sweet Mademoiselle up front. Lots of buds on those. The roses behind them not doing as well. That's Twilight Zone. We have Peace, which is actually rebounded. That one really died on me earlier. I don't know if that's going to be the true rose. We'll see. But we got Folklore, pretty in pink on the trellis there, or obelisk, I should say. Pink Traviata, which has rebounded nicely. It wasn't very happy last year. And then this rose right here, I believe, is Yves Piaget, which has also rebounded. It wasn't doing so great. And here's another Yves Piaget. We got a salvia right there. Right here, I've got 3 top creams planted together. They're doing pretty well. And all these roses, they get, I would say they get part shade. You know, I don't think they get a complete 6 hours of sun. I don't think so. I haven't gone out here and, like, you know, sat here and watched how long does the sun shine on them. This is Sweet Spirit. Wow, that's gorgeous color. And here we've got Savannah Sunbelt, which is really, it's so pretty. Oh, it's one of my favorites. And then another Golden Fairy Tale, which I have a bunch up front. And then next to that is another yellow rose. What's the tag say? Oh, it's Sunny Sky. That's right. And then we got some pretty peonies. And I just recently came in here and planted this Bloodgood Japanese maple. I really thought that the garden, the woodland garden on this side needed a red tree. We are lacking in the red tree department on this side of the garden. So just to try and balance out I have a couple of red trees over there. And I've been debating if I should try and sell this weeping willow and put another red tree in its place. I haven't decided yet. So I've got some time. And then there's also a little crimson, no, it's not crimson queen, it's something else. But back here, there's another red Japanese maple. I just can't remember the name of it. I'll have to go back through my orders and label it. I really like to label my Japanese maples. I'm pretty sure this one's Green Cascade. Tons of weeds in here. Gosh, I need to get better so I can get out here and get all these weeds taken care of, because we need to mulch. But this Japanese maple back in here, if I remember correctly, this one is called Germain's Gyration, which is supposed to have some really interesting, quirky twists in its branching, but I'm not really quite seeing that. It does look beautiful though. Can't say that it's ugly by any means. It's gorgeous. But the pop star hydrangeas are still looking great. Very, very happy with those. I love the formality of this bed once it gets mulched out. I just feel like it's the corner of the garden that feels like the most put together right now. Everything else seems a bit of a jumbled mess, but that's okay. This isn't too bad right here because I just finished this area. It's just not quite completed all the way yet. But yeah, we're just loving the grass being out here. Still waiting for the roots to get all rooted in and adjusted, and then we'll come in and fertilize, and then, you know, maybe, I think maybe in about a month they will mow. But yeah, I mean, look at that rose right there, Roberto Alagna. That one really stands out. I really like this one. And this one's from Palatine. It's almost like you can tell when a rose is from Palatine because they are always this dark, glossy green growth. Must be that multiflora rootstock. I'm telling you, it's so great. I would say multiflora rootstock is my favorite, and then after that, own root is pretty awesome. Here's all my Bliss Parfuma roses. Most of them are own root. They're from Antique Rose Emporium. This one right here is from Palatine. I had a vole come in and eat the one right here in the middle, so I had to replace it. Those are growing nicely here. And then I've got Parfuma Dark Desire, Black Caviar, the Ancient Mariner, which this one actually bounced back. I was amazed. It had one cane left, and now it's come back. We'll see what it does this year. And then back there is Quietness. And then on the trellis, I've got Florentina Arbor Rose on both sides. Oh my goodness, look at that peony back there, y'all. Let's go see it. Here's all of our new irrigation. Oh, before we get to the peony, look at this. This is one of my favorite roses. It's called Lady Ash. It's a small climber, and it's been in this really big pot for several years. lots and lots of buds. And then I also have a Kirite Kanawha clematis planted with it. Why is it partially dying? That's not good. This bloom seems like it's going to be doing okay though. But yeah, I absolutely love this rose so much. We had to move the pots over here because it used to be over here. We had one right there and then one on the other side because it was just on the dirt and I wanted grass here. So we ended up moving them, and the roots of the roses had grown through the bottom of the pot and were, you know, attached to the ground. So I'm wondering if for the health of the rose, maybe I should, I hate to say take out Eden, but Eden just doesn't perform for me very well back here. And so maybe what I should do is take out Eden and put the Lady Ash roses in place of Eden. All right, so here we have a beautiful peony. I believe this one's called Lady Orchid, and it's a stunner. I should probably put this one in a more prominent place. It's kind of hiding back in here, but goodness, it's so pretty. And then we've got an Edgeworthia I just recently planted here, and all sorts of other little things. And I probably need to move that hosta soon. We need to get some new furniture in here, spruce it up a bit. Hey, buddy. All right, here's the pool area. I blew the deck off yesterday. It still looks pretty good. I think most of the tree fronds have fallen. We do need a good rain to kind of just wash everything though. Goodness, it's still all in the air. Here's Moonlight in Paris. And I've got Moonlight in Paris alternated with peonies all through this bed. Let's see if I can jump the boxwoods. Get you in here to get a closer look. Aren't those beautiful? Really beautiful rose. Love it, love it. All right, let's jump the hedge again. Ooh. Right here, I've got a little coral drift rose. It's been struggling a little bit, but it's still blooming. And in here, this is an Adam tea rose that I got from Antique Rose Emporium. And again, excuse me with my voice. Thank you for your patience in this whole process. Got some Japanese maples here, Oregon Sunset right here. The tallest one is Bloodgood. And then this one right here, what is this called again? Arium. Really love that color. And then this is an apricot drift rose, and I've got Supertunia bubblegum planted in that smaller pot. Over here, I've got Star of the Republic rose from Antique Rose Emporium. Growing well, beautiful blooms. These little pretty things here are supertunias called Priscilla. And so I've got the same thing in each pot along here. Oh, look at this pretty bloom. I love the color of this rose as it's just opening up. It has this like delicate, creamy pink. Oh, it's gorgeous. Luigi, are you just that desperate for attention, my love? Huh? Whoa, look at this bloom. Holy smokes. This is the first time I've seen this petunia. Wow, they weren't kidding saying it's big. I think this one's called Supertunia, like Big Pink or something like that, or Super Pink, or I can't remember exactly, but my goodness. That's a vigorous one. That's just one petunia. And there's two in here. And then this climbing rose in here is blossom time. I really need to get a trellis for it, or an obelisk, kind of like this one, but just a little bit taller. And then here is Zade. That's how it's spelled. Doing something a little weird on this one. Looks like some sort of proliferation. But a lot of blooms. It has really gotten big this year. Really overtaking this area quite a bit. Oops, I almost tripped on a light. This rose obviously rebounded. Y'all saw when I cut it back a couple months ago. I had to cut it back to the ground basically. But these are all Zade roses and they are doing great. So pretty. Let's see if I can sneak a peek of this one. Got tree stuff falling all over me. Oh my gosh. I love my trees, but goodness gracious, this time of year. And the fountain is not working as usual. I'm getting so frustrated with this thing. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. We got a new pump for it. And I mean, obviously it needs water, but even when there's water in it, it only works when it wants to. So I've kind of given up on it again. I did get some Surefire white begonias in the mail. Just haven't had the energy quite yet to take all these pots down and put them in the pots quite yet. All of the salvia is blooming nicely along the edge here. And the clematis is growing beautifully up on this section of the pergola. And we actually have some clematis blooming. This is the clematis that I planted all along the pergola. It's called Betty Corning. And I just love the bell shape. It's so delicate and pretty, and I love it. And look at all those buds, guys. The roses are just covered. Oh, excuse me. And here is my hydrangeas. They are doing really well. Lots of buds this year. I'm so excited to see them bloom because we didn't get to see them last year due to that crazy cold weather we had. Again, I'm in zone 8 last year, and this is kind of why I'm like, why are we zone 8? We used to be zone 7, but last year we had a crazy freak cold front come through, and it got down to like 4 or 5 degrees down here for several days, and that never happens here. I mean, we get, we'll get cold snaps like in the teens, the high teens, but never that cold. That was really, really cold. In fact, it was so cold that the excuse me, the whole pool actually sunk down into the ground. It was crazy. And then when it warmed up, it came back up again. It was the craziest thing. I like freaked out. But thankfully, any of the tiles that were separated or cracked, our pool company came out and fixed everything. So it looks like brand new again. But there's lots of hydrangeas in this area. And this is really probably, I'd consider this section the oldest part of our garden, which we've been here for 9 years. And we planted a lot of these things. I would say this summer, we moved here in February of 2015, and the summer of 2015 is when a lot of these things went into the ground. And then the pool we built in 2019. And everything you see here, we planted it. We didn't hire a landscaper. We did it all ourselves. And it is really nice to like just sit back and look at everything and be like proud of ourselves. Like, we did this. This tree has gotten so big. This is an Emmett's pumpkin Japanese maple. And when we planted it, it was probably about that tall. So it has grown a whole bunch. And it is gorgeous in the fall. Really, really neat bloom, not blooms, but leaves. And then here's another peony opening up. I believe this one's called Butterflies in Flight, if I remember correctly. And then last but not least, if you can see up on top of the pergola, oh my goodness, see, I gotta zoom in and see if you guys can see this. Hold up. Do you see all that? Look at all those blooms, or buds, that are about to open up. This is a rambler called Felicity A. Perpetu. One-time bloomer, but as you can see, it's gonna be stunning. Absolutely stunning. It is, I mean, the whole top of this pergola is covered in buds right now. These are probably gonna start opening up within the next couple of days. I bet you next week at this time, it's gonna look so amazing. I cannot wait to show you guys. This is gonna be so great. So we're just getting started here in North Georgia with rose season. But I really appreciate you guys taking time to hang out with me this morning and dealing with my voice. My goodness, Oh, I hope this goes away pretty soon. I need to have my voice back. But again, just thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'm really excited to show you what's to come in the next few weeks. Lots of pretty things to show you, and I'll keep doing more garden tours as more roses open up. So thanks you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.